Okay, I think we're ready to go now. Yes, unless anyone else has turned up who's not able to talk to me. Soumya, if you want to show yourself, Soumya, you can join us as a panelist. Great to see you. Right, I'm just trying to share the screen now. So. You can reshape your webcams on the right. Just click on the 3x3 matrix and you can actually type and you can reshape them to see everyone. Okay, we're underway. So, welcome to Opening to Your Flow of Abundance. This is a free healing webinar. Hi, Sam. And I'm Nicolas David of the Centre for Conscious Ascension. So we're going to be talking about opening to your flow of abundance. This is for a lot of the guys who can't turn up because they're busy working in North America. So, and people are going to hit the video cold on YouTube. So, are you here to do something very special in the world? Well, I have been my whole life. And but can't rely on the universe to give you what you need when you need it. I felt like that most of my life as well. And so this group healing webinar using divine healing is to gracefully accelerate the healing of the fear of stepping into the life you really desire. So you can quicken the process of letting go, of hanging on to that corporate job or whatever other thing in your life is holding you back, opening to the flow of abundance and delivering your gift of service to the world. All right, so this is why we're here. So what I want to do first, though, before we go any further, is I'd like to know who you guys are. So I have been doing, I'm from New Zealand originally, some of you don't know me. And I was in the corporate world up until about the end of the 90s. And then I had a revelation one day. There was an angel in the form of a cloud flew by my office in the city in London. So my glass box wearing my suit. And it was about 200 feet long. It was almost like it was waving and smiling at me. And it was the only cloud in the sky. And that's where I realized I have to leave this job. I was already on the spiritual path, but still working for the man or the woman or however you want to call it. And 6 months later, I left that very secure, very well-paid job to do this, which meant the flow of corporate abundance was a lot less, zero, and I had to work out how to do this, what I'm doing now. But 30 years later, we're still here, haven't gone bankrupt, came close, but we're doing okay on the abundance front. So, and I always wanted to serve other people rather than just make money for shareholders. I sort of got bored with that. I wanted to make a difference in the world. That's why I'm here. And teaching divine healing was part of my path of moving from being very emotionally frozen from childhood to teaching a very emotionally based workshop, which is quite a shift for someone like me, very left brain originally, moving more to right brain or somewhere in the middle. So I've been in England for about 30 odd years doing this sort of work. So I'd like to find out where some of you guys are from. I know some of you guys. Just say where you're from, what brought you here. And what we're doing is we're setting group intention, because these are different for each time we do this. Okay. So we'll start by the guys on the video. So whoever wants to wave at me and just let us know where you're from and why you're here, that'd be great. Okay, because then I get especially your intention, what you need from this, and then I can we can gather the energy, the group energy, what we call a synergistic entity, will then allow us to flow together, will guide me in how I run the webinar. So who would like to go first? Okay, William.
Hello, everyone. I'm William from Houston in the USA, and I have been transitioning to spiritual work as well, and I'm hoping to bring more abundance and a feeling of gratitude into my daily life.
Okay, thank you. Who's next? Melissa?
Hi, I'm Melissa. I'm from Michigan, but upper Michigan. So we're surrounded by Lake Superior. This is the hand map of the UP. So I'm here because I feel, yes, I am working a lot with more spiritual kind of modalities. I have been for quite some time, but there's always been something in the way that is keeping me from just truly immersing myself in it. And when it comes to abundance, I know that there are several blocks to deserving, the feeling of deserving. And there was financial trauma in my life, in my childhood. And so I also feel like I can feel the need for some assistance or help working through dissolving some of that trauma.
Okay, thanks, Melissa.
Thank you.
Okay, who's next? Okay, Pam. I can't hear you. Not sure what's going on there. Is it on your computer itself? Check the microphone settings. Click on the little arrow to the right of the microphone and just look at check the settings there. Or message me in the chat if it doesn't work, okay? And anyone can message me in the chat who's not on or sound's not working, and I'll read it out, okay? So we'll go to someone else where you have a fiddle with the settings. So maybe pick a different microphone setting, Pam, and we'll try it. Who's next? Okay, Cynthia.
Hello, everybody. I'm here to clear the blocks to my abundance. I have a fear. I just have fear, and I keep dropping down into fear consciousness that I'm not going to be able to make enough money to just pay my bills. And I don't want to worry about that. I just want to serve. I just want to be here and do my divine healing and my light body work and my massage. And I just want to do it. And I'm not. There's something invisible here, and I'm not moving forward. And I would love for those to be cleared. I've just divorced. I've got a big house. I can hold courses here. I can work from home. I've got a treatment room in the garden. Perfect setup. And it's not flowing. So I would like those blocks to be blasted, because I'm here for a reason. I want to go. I want to work. I want to love. I want to serve.
Okay, see what we can do. All right, who's next?
Thank you.
Okay, Christy.
Hi, everyone. I am in Colorado in the United States, and I am here pretty much for exactly what Cynthia just said. I want to move forward. I just finished taking soul contract reading training, the first level, and I really want to dive in, and I have everything to do it, and something's keep holding me back. So I would like to unblock that whole fear part of it, because I know it's all fear. It's all fear. So I just want to let go of it.
Okay, we'll see what we can do there. Okay, all right, who's next? Okay, Soumya, hi.
Hi, I'm from UK, and well, same as Christy or Cynthia or anyone else really speaking, I obviously have some blocks, and I have definitely some fears. I have plenty of trainings behind me already. So I need to unblock this, especially the fears of probably showing up and stepping and being seen, probably speaking up. There is a lot, or I already cleared, but there is still something in my way. So I need more clearing.
Okay, all right. Who's next? Okay. Someone else is mentioning here. Okay, so Helen mentioned. Helen said, "I'm here because of you, and working with you in circle makes me think about my development. I've always been a healer, and I'm very comfortable with my spirituality. I feel there's a block about deserving abundance and landing my new job." That's a pretty big one, isn't it, to work on? Yeah. Okay. Thanks, Helen. All right. Anyone else? Okay, Jody.
Hello, Nicolas. I always enjoy being in your presence and this work tremendously. I have done Divine Healing 4 and could always use more Divine Healing. And I also like to see how you run group sessions. And could always use more abundance on some things, less abundance on others. I'm still managing things since the death of my fiance and his litigation. So I would like a less abundance of litigation, more abundance of time and space to be able to do more healing work for others and things like this. I just to give you a heads up, I did get a private invite for a call at the top of the hour to be part of a group regarding online courses. So I might have to skip out at that time.
That's okay.
But yeah, I'd like to support you and encourage this work. And I believe everybody needs to have the experience of divine healing and soul contract readings. So thank you, Nicolas, for hosting this.
Okay, thank you. All right. Okay. Anyone else? I'll put anything in the chat. Helen's just said I'm north of London. Lauren said, hi, I'm quite early in my healing journey and some changes have happened, improving my finances, but I still feel a lot of fear around money. Okay. Amelia from Montreal said, I was brought here after I saw your interview on Gaia. I'm here to align, learn, and have fun and be joyful as it should always be. Thank you. I don't know how to put the camera, sorry. Let me see if I can help you, Amelia. Okay. Nicole, do you want to talk? You can talk now if you want.
Yes, I was trying to get my video to work, but it didn't work the first time to accept it as a panelist. So
okay, try to accept panelist.
There we go.
Try it now, and I'll just go down to Amelia. If you just accept being a panelist, Amelia, then you can have the camera on. Okay. If anyone else wants the camera on, just put your hand up on your attendees, and I'll.
Oh, there we go. There I am.
There you go. So Nicole, what brought you here?
Okay. I just recently launched a spiritual business of my own. Well, I'm launching. I'm actually scheduling my first webinar myself. And I started it in August of last year. I'm currently living in Mexico right now, in the mountains in Southeast Mexico. And I moved from South Carolina a little over a year ago. And I've just been on this massive spiritual journey. I was a dental office manager for 15 years before that. So kind of like your story, it's just one day you're like, this is not who I'm supposed to be. But stepping into that role, and I kind of feel like when you're tasked with that leadership position, you find yourself your whole life getting into positions of leadership, even if you don't want it. So I'm here because pretty much what everybody else has said, I'm ready to jump in, but there's something, that confidence, or there's something that's in my way of fully embracing this new life, like, you know, this whole new career, this whole new calling. So just ready to let it flow.
Yeah, now's a good time. World is changing, as you all might have noticed. You're needed. Amelia, well done. We got the technology to work. How are you?
Yeah, thank you so much.
So what brought you here? Where are you from and what brought you here?
I'm from Montreal. I've been spiritually awakened 2 years ago, and I have been brought to travel the world. So I have been traveling for almost 1 year now. And as I was traveling, I realized I have a very global mission. And so the angels and everybody, the energy here with me is trying to show me what I'm supposed to do. Because right now it's still a little blurry, but I still feel I have the knowing. And so they're building, it's like just blocks of learning here and there. So it's just this, it's a really great life. I love it. So I'm just here to learn more.
Okay, thank you.
Shakira from Denver says, I would like to remove blockages of fear so I can move forward publicly working with Reiki. I'm also going through a breakup, and sorry to hear that. We are currently going our separate ways, which has also brought on anxiety and fear of being alone. Also, I'm sorry I was driving, so I wasn't able to accept the panelists. Okay, it's fine. Okay. Pam said she's in Maine in the US, and it's jumping around, and it has some blocks about getting started in my business and accepting money. Jody said she's in Tucson. Okay, Laura has said she wants to create abundance for others and very pro money. I seem to have a total blocker on creating it for myself and keep getting stuck in a cycle of being promoted towards leadership positions or entrepreneurial ventures, but then needing to step back from them to get a normal job to bring in finances. Okay. Yeah, it's the biggest challenge for us light workers is sorting out the financial side of things. I lived on credit cards for about 15, 20 years when I started this business because I didn't know how to run one, basically. It's quite different to when you're in the corporate world, someone else is looking after the finances, so totally resonate with that. Okay, so let's get underway. Thank you for sharing. It's given me a good feel for things. A lot of common themes there, especially around getting off the ground. Adrian said she's in Texas. Seconds many things everyone else has said. She's on the spiritual path, but feels something's preventing her from jumping in completely, looking for her next steps. Okay, thank you, Adrian. So let's share the screen. Max, Asian cowboy.
So my name is Maximilian Juhok, and on March 28th, I got a strong intuition, and then I downloaded my mission, life mission. That is 144,000 people will reach universal consciousness. Then the rest of the population will reach planetary consciousness. And I'm one of the 144,000 people, but I don't consider I'm a chosen one. If I consider I'm a chosen one, then I'm not going to reach unconditional love. So I'm not just a chosen one. It's just that my role is that. And then the project name is called Project Now Moment. And I was navigated to participate this meeting because my intuition said that all of the participants, including Nicolas, is our member. And then under the Project Now Moment, we have 3 axes: Ascended Master axis, that is for the 144,000 people, and the Angelic axis to heal being and the human beings, and the Space Brotherhood axis, that is to have planets and galaxies and universes to ascend. So if anybody interested in learning more, please give me a friend request to me. And also this project is in the beginning, and then we have obviously abundance is a huge issue. So that's why I'd like to learn that from Nicolas, that how we can overcome the fear for the money, and then to achieve the manifest the abundance in this lifetime.
Okay, thanks, Maximilian. Okay, so someone else has come. Hi, Sanabu. Okay, if you want to join us on the video, just say yes to being a panelist, but you can just stay as a attendee. Okay, right, let's get underway. So share my screen. Yeah. Okay. So just having to maneuver some of the chats around. There's a lot of them here. So I'm going to talk about what is divine healing. Okay. So Amira Ariel Hilaire, who some of you know, she formed the Center for Conscious Ascension with me. And we were looking for a tool to clear some very strong separation programs we both had, because we used to be married and run this business together. She runs her own business now doing similar things. And we needed a very powerful tool to clear our separation so we could get online with our mission of raising consciousness on Earth. And we spent a lot of time, she especially spent a lot of time searching for this tool. And she explored all sorts of different things, talked to all sorts of teachers, and asked some of them to teach her how to teach their work, but didn't get much didn't get a very positive response. So she, with two other friends, Mary and Roshan, they channeled divine healing from source, or from many different multidimensional levels. So it's a multidimensional system that comes from source in answer to our question of how can we peel our ego? How can we peel our ego onion here? Just creating all the things that you've shared with us, all the things blocking you from getting your mission going. Because as light workers, we all have this deep sense, especially from a young age, there's something special we're here to do. And we never get the answer. I never got the answer from school or university or work. It seemed no one really knew what was going on. They were just going with whatever program was running in their ego or running in the consensus matrix. So we wanted a tool to peel this onion all the way back to the core flame of consciousness of who we are, which is pure consciousness, pure love. And we wanted to get on with it as quickly as possible, because we realized if we didn't do it, we wouldn't be able to unleash our gift of service to the world, which was to form this business and then actually form the Center for Love and Enlightenment to continue her work. So after a year of channeling, the three of them came up with Divine Healing Level 1, which is a simple and quick and profound, accurate set of healing tools, which can be used on, they used it on themselves first, but also used it on others. Which really peels that onion quickly, which opens us up to reconnect to spirit at all levels. It's very empowering, especially when you can heal yourself, rather than having to wait to go and see someone else and they do it to you. You can actually clear about 80% of your issues yourself. I still use it. Sort of, how long have we had this now? 26 years Divine Healing has been around. You think 2016? No. 2006? No. 16 years it's been around. And keys to enlightenment. Well, that's probably a bit of a bold claim, but keys to higher consciousness. Okay, so, and this was the beginning. I had done a lot of other healing tools, but this was, once I got hold of this, that really accelerated my journey of awakening and opening to the flow of abundance, especially. I had a very deep, strong program of unworthiness from childhood. So it enables you to very deeply heal the fundamental hidden programs that are creating the blockages, which are so frustrating, which many of you have mentioned. And as you clear them, you become in charge of your life rather than being at the mercy of the ego. And so there can be more love and joy and aliveness and creating your dreams. I mean, I used to wonder, how was I going to pay the rent every month? How was I going to be? I was a single parent for a long time as well after Mary and I divorced. How was I going to pay rent? How am I going to actualize all the dreams and visions that my soul was giving me? And this was the key, actually. It cleared enough unworthiness, enough disempowerment so that my higher consciousness could come through a much cleaner ego structure. So I opened to the flow of abundance. It's gradual, but I got there. It worked. So things are a lot better these days. I moved from just doing 16, 20 hours of private sessions a week to maybe 2 or 4 hours a week now, and I mainly teach practitioners. So it's given globally, so it's given me the opportunity to really make a difference on earth. So I'm very grateful for that. Clearing this allowed the book Your Soul Contract Decoded to become a bestseller on Amazon, enabled me to manifest filming at Gaia. We filmed 5 shows, only 4 are showing, are actually on their platform at the moment. So lots of amazing things happen when I cleared enough of my ego construct. So I really did peel the onion. Nearly every day I was using it. And I did that by growing lotuses. So basically I dived into all the mud of my life, all the emotional separation, all the painful stuff. Because we use a Buddhist model rather than a polarized Judeo-Christian model of polarity consciousness. We think some lotus good, mud bad. We say, well, it's all one. But we have to get into the mud and bring consciousness to it, which our ego is never keen on, and bring consciousness to our mud, our emotional separation, which is what we're born with. We're born with it so we can overcome it. It's not meant to punish us, to overcome it. So then we can grow our gifts of service, our lotuses of lotai in our life, and deliver them to the world. Okay, so nothing's gone wrong with your lives or what's happened. It's just the learning is in the mud. So feel free to ask any questions if you want. Just switch your mic on or wave at me if you got your video on. Okay. So what we do here is that we come from source originally. This is on the 12th dimension. We're multidimensional beings. But pretty much most of your attention is focused on the 3rd dimension. This densified reality being in these earth suits, these physical bodies. And so Source had an outbreath because it wanted to know itself more by having direct experience, direct feeling experience in it. It created the lower dimensions. And we densified and densified so to the point where we got to being in a seemingly solid body here. And then what happened is at the lower level of the 4th dimension, the astral plane, there's a layer of interference, astral beings, which stops us connecting to source. So we come here and we feel this is all there is. Although we have this niggling feeling, that splinter in your mind feeling from the matrix, there's something else, someone hasn't told me, something's missing. It's because we feel this disconnect and we go and search to reconnect. The meaning, we search for the meaning of our life, our hidden purpose is a search for source, a search of how do we get home? And so we each are going to get home in a very specific way, a unique pathway. And divine healing is a means of clearing that pathway so you can break through. I'm going to do a bit of it after I've explained it. We're going to break through this disconnect from source and access higher self, higher consciousness. And when you access that higher consciousness, you open to the flow of abundance because the abundance doesn't come from this reality. Everyone in this reality is stealing energy from each other here. Whereas, because this is just a 3-dimensional projection screen of higher conscious energy. So you've got to access this higher conscious energy to create abundance. And the first thing you got to do is open a pathway, which is what we're going to do today. And then you can bring in from your higher self. That's the high dimensional part of yourself, not embodied. As you clear your ego, you bring it through you and it flows out into the world and manifests your mission, manifests your purpose. And you share that with others and they pay you money in exchange. And then abundance, financial abundance increases, but also this brings more love and flow. It's more than just money abundance here. So basically it brings more spiritual love through you. And that's the key to everything, key to the mission, key to financial abundance, key to a more fulfilling life, okay? And so you might wonder why, well, if I'm here to do this mission, why did God put me here? I've got all these programs and I can't get up and running. Well, the idea is to break through all these layers of ego programming. And in the process of breaking through that, you develop your gift of service, you develop your skills to deliver to the world. So whatever your biggest challenge is, that's actually what you're here to break through. And we can do some with divine healing today. And then as you go from the negative expression of the karmic pattern, which is blocking you, to the positive expression, you then start to deliver your gift through the struggle of breaking free from the karma of the ego, or programmed into the ego. Okay, so it's not that you're wasting time or something went wrong. Where you are is where you're meant to be. But the question is, what do you do to break through here? That's the key. Okay. So let's talk about this a bit more. Let's talk about, well, we've got all these programs, you've all talked about them, and they're blocking us. So there are 3 core programs that we have. As soon as you are born into this world, when you disconnect from God by being born, to a greater or lesser degree, we have 3 programs we feel. The ego feels abandoned by God because you got dropped on the third rock from the sun and you're disconnected from God. You're out in this world and it doesn't feel so good. You feel unworthy to be loved by God because God disconnected from us through the birth process. Then we don't trust God. And the combination of these three programs creates all the ego construct. Okay? It creates all of the ego construct that we deal with. And it comes out in a very unique way in each of us. So, well, what do we do with those? Well, here's what we're going to do today.
Nicolas, I cannot see your slides anymore. Are you sharing the slides?
Can everyone see the slides? Wave, you can see the slides. So what can you see, Max?
I just see the video. I just see the video, no slides. I don't know why.
Your Mercury's retrograde. What I'll do, I'll stop sharing.
No, I see it here. Sorry.
And I'll share again. Okay, it's coming up again, Max. How's that now?
Oh, now good. Yes, thank you.
Can you see it? Yeah. All right. So here's what the ego does to stop you peeling it, to stop you breaking through, connecting back to source, which is the key to abundance. It goes to avoidance. We go into addictive patterns. We're hard on ourselves. We just don't want to feel it, because when you feel it, you can heal it. As we awaken and come on the spiritual path, we realize, I've got to be conscious of what's going on. We unconsciously judge and feel bad about our programming, which makes it stronger. The key is the third way. It's about resonating and owning whatever program is running, whatever karmic separation program is running, and bringing feeling consciousness to it in the body, and finding where it comes from. Because when we do that, we start to unpick the program, we start to dissolve it, and that's the key. That's the key process in divine healing. Resonating, feeling, and tracking where it comes from. Once you start to do that, then you start to make progress. The ego's not so keen on that, so we have to do a bit of work to get there. So the first thing you need to heal, the first thing you need to do to get your mission online is have the willingness and desire and courage to do whatever it takes. And at times it's going to be painful. It's not all sweetness and light and unicorns being a light worker. It's actually one of the most challenging things to do, to go into your ego and look at the stuff there. There's probably going to be a lot of stuff you need to look at which ego does not want to go there at all. So this is the issue here in red. And this is your consciousness coming in. The dark blue and a sky blue here is you expanding your consciousness, your feeling consciousness into whatever the issue is. And as you do that, the more you become conscious of the issue at a feeling level, the more that it will dissolve. Because all the soul wants to do is you to feel a negative expression and start to transmute it and dissolve it into the positive energy, the opposite usually of what it is. Okay? That's the key to actually healing, the key to getting the flow, because it wants to go from the spark of the divine in you, the creator, because you are a spark of the divine. All it wants to do is go from one state to another. Someone's hands up here. Okay. Hang on. Helen, do you want to ask a question? Or, yeah. I'll promote you to panelists. Was there a question you want to ask me? No. Okay. You're okay. You said, okay. So basically what you feel you can heal, and the more you feel, the more you go into the body, the faster your healing process. You're peeling the ego onion. Okay. That's the key to the whole process. But the ego knows what you're up to. So what it goes and does is it puts this layer, I'm gonna get my right pen here. This layer of turquoise ice, emotional ice, to numb you out and bury the issue. Okay, so this could be the fear of stepping into your life you really desire. This could be the fear here. And if you can't feel it because of the numbness, you can't clear it. Okay, so we need to break through the ice here. Okay, because ego has lots of tricks, because it's only doing the job. It's the reason we have an ego is to stay separate from God, to see if we can break through and reconnect to God. So what happens here is that with divine healing, when we work in a group like this or in the class, being held in the group energy is very powerful, and it unblocks energy. It breaks through gently, gracefully through the blockages, and then we start to feel what's in there. And then once we feel it, the program's blown, it's going to start to be dissolved layer by layer. And as we overcome that fear, more flow starts to come. And it takes time. There's no magic wand here. No, what anyone says, you've got to do the work to come online fully. Okay. Lots of people say, pay me all this money and you'll get there in 6 months or 3 months or whatever. It doesn't happen because it takes time, and you've got to work on yourself regularly to actually make some serious progress. They won't tell you that. Okay. So
Nicolas, could you explain the relationship with the feeling on the prefrontal cortex? The one slide before.
I'm back here. Okay, so in the West, we've gone very left brain, very scientific, and we use our prefrontal cortex to control our emotions because our minds are so highly trained. It's very scientific in the West. We start thinking, what should I be feeling? You know how some people say, I think I feel this? Okay, so we're trying to control it because we think we're programmed, we should feel certain things, and we want to feel that rather than letting go and just surrendering onto the body and feeling what actually is coming up, which is what authentically coming up. That's the bit that matters. Okay, so basically the mind is trying to control the emotions, and it doesn't help when you're trying to awaken. Okay, so any questions on that sort of brief overview before we go and have a direct experience of it? I'll just go back to the main video here. Anyone got any questions on that?
I have another question.
Familiar?
You use the flare or fire inside the onion. Are there any reason for that? It's a love, right? Or are there any reason you use
the reason is it's the flame of consciousness. It's our soul. It's a pure source energy. That's why you're trying to unleash that. I mean, if you had dissolved all the onion, what happens there is there's that flame of consciousness, that light will come out, that consciousness will come out, and it'll manifest all the things you need in your life. It happens gradually, but that's the idea, is to dissolve the onion to free up that flame of consciousness. Okay. All right. So any questions on anything, or we can get on to practice, having a bit of experience of it. William,
can you explain briefly, the soul in terms, because I hear a lot of people who will say, oh, if you're broken, we can fix you, and healing is a sort of fixing that, versus the wholeness that we already are. There's no sort of like breaking, we're just returning back to wholeness. Can you explain a little bit about that, please?
well, each of us has a unique experience of feeling separate and having the programming of feeling separate from God. And if it goes to an extreme state, that's what you class as some people class as a broken person. They're so much damage, they may be very traumatized from life. Okay, so the purpose of this sort of work is to make someone whole and to clear the trauma, clear the emotional damage. So eventually, you cleaned up enough of that ego onion so they can feel reconnected to oneness, to source, to God, in a spiritual sense. Okay, and that's when you become whole again. So some people have very extreme experiences, which you might call, quote, broken. It's there for them to overcome. Okay, does that help? Yeah. Okay. Any other questions before we start? Just wanted to give your left brains a bit of structure here. Nicole, you're about to ask a question, or you're sort of thinking about it, or you're okay? All right. All right. So what we're going to do first is that we're going to clear some of the interference you see in the source diagram up here. If I get it to come up. What we're going to do first get my pen out. We're going to blow a hole through this layer of interference to connect to higher consciousness, which is the key to everything in terms of guiding you forward and bringing abundance. That's what we're going to do first. So I'm going to use the Divine Healing Manual. It'll be quietly. Actually, I need to load that up, I realized. Sorry. To load that up first. I'm going to use the Divine Healing Level 1 manual. I'm just finding it now. I loaded everything but that one. And we're going to clear some energetic interference that's disconnecting you from higher self. And then we're going to allow it's going to flow more easily through you. Okay. Because the energetic interference, what it does is it actually keeps your programs in place. Okay. All right. So what I want you to do is close your eyes and have your feet flat on the ground. Take your shoes off. Ground as best you can. Okay. And we're going to clear some of the stuff. Right. Okay. And I want you to breathe through your mouth, because breathing through the mouth is the key. Feeling. The ego will naturally want to breathe through the nose, which keeps you in your head, which is what we don't want here. Okay, so breathe through your mouth and breathe down into your belly. Okay, and we'll clear some energetic interference first. The first group of beings I'm going to clear are called earthbound souls. These are beings who were in a physical body, but they've left. And I've got attached to you because you have a program, a similar program or similar set of programs that they had. And they want to vicariously live through you to try and work through that issue. Okay. So, and I want you to be aware of the sensations in your body. Well, it's just outside your body as we do this. Okay. So we don't quietly, but just breathe and feel. So here we go. Your body might twitch, move around, just relax and let it do it. Okay. So let's do this quietly now. Okay, feel the shift. The next thing we're going to release are extraterrestrial presences. Nothing to worry about. They're vibrating at a higher frequency than us. You won't see them. But they're just curious on how human emotions work. Because we have a very wide range of emotions on this planet, which are highly treasured by souls. That's why they come here, to experience the intensity of emotions. Because when you're in a body, it's much more intense and the learning is faster than when you're in the astral plane, when you're not in a body. So we're going to clear some of these beings out because their presence is actually interfering in your life and emotional expression. Here we go.
Sorry, which one it is?
What's that?
Which being it is?
These are extraterrestrials.
Oh, ET, okay.
Yeah. So I'm going to clear them out now. Just keep your eyes closed, Max, and just feel it. Okay, feel the shift. Feel gratitude after that shifts. You might want to yawn, okay, or even burp, vibrate. I usually yawn. And the next group of beings are what we call discarnates, entities and attachments. Okay. And these are very clever at blocking our flow of energy. So I'm going to remove them now. There's a lot of them here, different types. So feel a shift as they leave. Sometimes it can feel like almost like a popping of energy leaving your fields. And you can feel a release of energy. Okay. So just keep breathing into your body through your mouth. Okay. Okay. Just open your eyes. Have a little drink, or whatever you need to do. We'll have a little chat about that while it integrates. Before we do the next chart in Divine Healing. You may feel more energized after this.
So without you stating command, how can you release interference?
I'm doing my codes quietly. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm just doing them quietly. The purpose of this. Okay. Because it's a public webinar, and I need to protect the material. But you will see some command codes. So okay, that's why we do that, Max. Because this is really only for people who are trained or are present on the webinar. That's what it's for. Okay, so I just want to get a little feedback to allow you to integrate. So who would like to tell me just briefly how that felt? Who wants to share that? Just wave at me or put it in the chat. Or just unmute if you're an attendee and just talk to me. Just say your name and then we can talk about it. Cynthia, you jumped around there. Yeah.
I yawned with every clearing that you did. And it started for me while you were still talking, actually. So before you did the command code quietly, as you were introducing it, I already started yawning, but I cleared fairly quickly. I was surprised how much I needed to clear. I need to do a bit more myself every day. Thank you.
You're already trained in this. You should be doing this every day. If things are stuck, you should be doing this every day.
I do other clearing grids, but not particularly the interference, but I will do.
I mean, divine healing in general. You should be doing it every day if you're trying to get your business going. Okay. Because what will happen is that layers of the separation will come up and slow things down. So you clear that, then things start to pick up. Okay, and then another layer will come and will slow things down. So I used to clear things when everything's got slow. I'd do divine healing till the phone rang in those days. And then I would get on, do some more work. Then another wave will come. Okay, this is the key to it. All right. Right. Who else would like to share how that was? Okay, Amelia.
Hi. So for me, I really felt it at the third part, and it's as soon as you said the word blockage, I started feeling in my throat the blockage that was there, and right after, it's like a ball just flew out from the throat, and then instant feeling of joy.
Yeah.
And yeah, it felt really good.
Yeah, someone left. Okay. Yeah.
Probably.
A being or beings left there. Okay, there's a bit of feedback on the chat. Adrian said I had lots of chills. Helen said lots of yawning and lifting of mental fog. Tenabo said huge release through my crown chakra and ears popping, although I just landed from a 17-hour flight. Okay, thank you. Anyone else on the video want to share how that was? No? Okay, we'll move on to the next one. So, often as light workers, we spend a lot of time gazing at our navel, at all the things which aren't working. And when we become aware of our programs, sound familiar? Sitting on the sofa gazing at your navel? Yeah. So the key here is to focus on what do you wish to create based upon what you know now, based upon what's been revealed to you. So we don't focus on all separation programs, because if you focus on it through the law of attraction, you'll create more of them, much more than you originally had. It's not about ignoring them, but it's focusing on the best vision of how you see your mission going, on what you know now. And if you're not sure fully what the mission is, just focus on getting clarity on the mission. Okay, so because if you focus on where you want to go, the ego is going to say, oh, Melissa, you can't do that. What it will do is that the focus on where you want to go will trigger the programs to come into consciousness. And as they come out, because the ego doesn't want them to come into consciousness unless it has no choice, because then it knows it's vulnerable. It means because you can then feel it and you'll clear it. So what we're doing is we're ambushing the programs by focusing on what we wish to create. It can be a very general thing to be of service with your skills. It could be something very specific as you get clarity on your mission. Okay. When you focus on where you want to go, the ego is going to be very alarmed because it's designed to stop you. Then many layers of programming will come out to stop you opening to the flow of abundance and opening to delivering your mission. And that's the stuff we want to work with. So sometimes it's going to be a bit unpleasant emotionally, but that's the stuff you got to work with. You got to work with the mud. Okay. So this is how you get there. And if you consistently focused on where you want to go and clear everything that came out, which is what I did to get where I am now, eventually you reach a threshold of what we call soul integration, where the power of the soul and the high spirit and higher self coming through you is more powerful than the ego. So the ego is no longer drag weight holding you back. A lot of you said you feel stuck. Okay, when you have enough of that clear, enough of the ego clear, then you get lift off. It's like escape velocity. And when a rocket lifts off, it's got to escape velocity to get out of the Earth's atmosphere. It's the same emotionally here for you to lift off with your businesses. So you've got to put quite a lot of energy into getting moving on, getting off the ground with your energy with your business. So things start to flow. Because once you got some momentum emotionally and you're clear enough, it gets easier and easier. Gradually it gets easier. Okay. So this is actually how we manifest our missions. Okay, and it will take a lot longer than you would like. That's just the fact of spiritual life. But what alternative do you have? No one here wants to go back to their old jobs. I try to go back to my corporate job because we're having a tough time because I don't know when was that? About 10 years after leaving it. And as soon as I did that, the tap switched on because my team said, no way you're going back to the corporate world. And suddenly things opened up. I found that really interesting. So I didn't have to go back to it. I'd already spoke to my old boss. And I was getting my CV ready. So that was an interesting thing because I said, I'm not clearing the blockages. So that was an interesting technique. That thing that actually happened. But I think I'd cleared enough already in me. But I was considering it because I had to pay the bills. Okay, so what I want you to do is close your eyes and breathe through your mouth. And I want you to focus on the vision and feeling, or however you sense things, of the gift of service, the mission you were born to deliver to Earth. Focus on it as best you can and place that in your heart. And breathe through your mouth. Remember to keep your mouth open. And don't worry about how you're going to get there. The ego will say, well, you couldn't do this and you couldn't do that. Focus on it as if it's already done. And everything the universe has provided, everything you need. And feel the feeling of gratitude, satisfaction, happiness, whatever it is, in that deeply cherished mission is manifested. It's a done deal. And it's very important to open your mouth and breathe into the mission. Okay. Got to feel it, Cynthia. Okay. Breathe into the mission. And be aware of whatever emotions come up, because that's the ego saying, oh, you can't do that. And that's the mud we're very interested in. Okay. We're very interested in that because that's the key to getting there. And as you become aware of the emotions coming up, just feel into them. Something, it might be new to feel into them. It could be fear or shame or unworthiness, whatever it is. And let yourself open to all aspects of the feeling, tune into it, drop into it as much as you're able to, and expand your consciousness into that feeling. Because this is what your soul wants you to actually do. Become aware of any attachment the ego has to holding on to this negative expression, negative emotion, whatever it is. So we're bringing maximum consciousness to it now. Become aware of any feelings of being bad for having this negative emotion. This is what we call a main low frequency program. Become aware of any judgment the ego has of itself for having this program. I used to have the one of, oh, I should be more advanced than this. I shouldn't have this feeling of being bad or unworthiness anymore. I've done so much work. So whatever the ego is yapping away, whatever judgment it has, become aware of that, because that's actually what's holding the program in place, the feeling of being bad and the judgment. And the more you can open to it, the more you can integrate and heal it. So we're now going to use what's called a command code in divine healing. We're going to go and clear this program. So these command codes are where you, as a spark of the divine, because you are God embodied, you just forgot, you're commanding the universe to do something for you. So you must really mean it. It's not just some random words. Because in the beginning, there was the word or the sound of God. So we're using sound to create here. So keeping breathing through your mouth into the programs that have come up, that were triggered by you focusing on where you want it to go. Okay. We're going to do this command code. We're going to use Saint Germain, one of the Ascended Masters. So you can open your eyes if you like, and I've got the Divine Healing Manual up here so you can see it on the left. So staying in that feeling state, we're going to do these in bite-sized chunks. We have to allow each piece to happen. So I'm going to read this to you in bite-sized chunks. You can switch your microphones on. Okay, we'll do, because you'll hear each other saying this. Okay, and doing it as a group, hearing each other is very, very powerful. So unmute now, everybody. Okay. All right. So I'll say we'll say it in bite-sized chunks, and you must mean it. Okay. You must feel it and mean it. So we say, We are Saint Germain to
We are
pour the
Saint
purple
Germain.
I
flame
am
We
Saint
are
the
Saint
Germain
Germain
to pour the
through the
purple
aura,
flame
Body
through the
aura,
aura,
purple
the
flame,
subtle body parts, away
subtle
all the
bodies,
lower
all the
all
frequency
away all low
energies
frequency
that I have
energies,
discovered.
high level
I have
vibrations
new
to
higher level
discovered
vibrations
through higher level vibrations
all
through
the
higher
access.
level
higher
vibrations can be
level
accessed.
vibrations can be accessed.
No. Stop here. Stop us with this sentence. We're going to allow that to happen. So Saint Germain's going off and doing all this. And then we're going to say these one line at a time. We're going to pause after each one to allow it to happen. Okay, so we say Saint Germain and higher self.
Saint Germain and higher
Germain
self.
and higher
One
self.
go.
One
Now
go.
go.
One go.
Now
For
go.
levels
One
and
go.
dimensions.
All around in one go.
Levels and dimensions.
The core truth,
Issues
all
all
levels
levels
and
and
dimensions.
dimensions. Burn out in one go.
And just let that happen now. You'll feel the energies were quite busy for a while. Then it sort of calms down, go, ooh, it drops. We do the next one. 100% the original cause through all levels.
100% the original
Original
cause
The original cause through all levels and dimensions.
Did that happen? 100% the source of its power through levels and dimensions.
100% the
100% the
all
source of
levels
its
and
power
dimensions.
through all levels and
Dimensions.
100% all energy attached through all levels and dimensions.
100% of all energy
attached
attached
through all levels
and dimensions.
100% all of its effects through all levels and dimensions.
100%.
100% of all
all
its
levels
effects through all levels and dimensions.
Did that happen? Thank you.
Thank you.
Feel the shift?
Feel the shift.
Okay. You don't have to say that. Feel the shift. Gratitude is important because gratitude opens a connection from you to the source directly. Someone's got someone talking in the background. If you could just mute whoever that is, if you could mute, that'd be great. Thanks. Okay. All right. So with divine healing, we bring consciousness to a program, which is what we're doing here. And when we feel it, what maximum consciousness to it, we then clear it with a command code. That's how it works. And there's 26 charts we do in level 1 to do that. This is called main low frequency programs here. I'm just doing this while you guys integrate. And we teach you how to number map to allow your higher self to tell you which numbers to find the actual program. But in this case, I got you just to feel it. But there's several ways of diagnosing what's going on here. And your higher self, it knows the exact order to peel your ego onion, and so it will guide you. Basically, peel your ego, and if you keep at it, it'll happen. Okay, it takes time, but it's very fast and it's very clean, and it can be like the program wasn't there. You can't even remember the program was even there if you're doing it properly. Okay. All right. So, how are you guys feeling after that? You want to share how that was?
I need a nap.
Yeah, a lot of tiredness may come out because that's
I need a nap.
holding the program in place. Nicole. Yeah.
For me, it's like the opposite. I feel so light and happy and clear.
Yeah. Well, you just released a lot of life force. See? Yeah, because it takes a lot of life force to hold those programs in place. Okay, so every time you clear something, you get more life force. Okay. Anyone on the attendees want to share anything? Just say so, put on the chat, or just say I'm here. Anyone else want to share? You had a big clearing, Nicole, by the looks of it. Yeah, yawning is fine. Okay, so the next program we're going to do is we're going to clear the past life issues that are blocking you manifesting your gift of service, your mission. Okay, blocking your abundance. So I want you to again focus on being in an abundant state of having manifested your gift of service, your mission. So close your eyes again, go back to the same heart space, and then we're going to clear the past life stuff. So our attention here is to focus on what you want to create. Then we're going to trigger the past life stuff to come up, and we're going to clear it. So breathing through the mouth is very important here. Okay. So drop into that same feeling space of being abundant in the process of delivering your mission, delivering your gift of service. And be aware of whatever feelings come up. But most importantly, you may start to see energy flows moving behind you back into the time-space continuum, connecting with past lives where often of the same theme, which have been feeding into this life, which have been stopping you manifesting your gift. Okay, so what we're doing is we're bringing those past life files up, we're opening them up in your energy fields and your consciousness. Because 70–80% of what we go through comes from these past lives. And they're usually very quietly in the background. And there might be 3 or 4 of them, might be more. Often there's a whole bunch of them where we've had multiple lifetimes exploring the same thing. Okay, switch your mics on and we're going to clear these past lives now. Now you've got conscious of them, so they're up in your fields and we can clear them. Okay, so I've got someone's talking in the background. You could switch that mic off. That'd be great. Okay, so this is one's for this chart. This command code for clearing past life deaths, but we're not going to do death there. We're just going to go traumatic lifetimes. Okay. Because usually it's traumatic ones which block us. Okay, so I'll say this in bite-sized chunks. Okay. Higher self, please clear, heal, and integrate.
Higher self, clear, heal, and integrate.
All these files and memories.
All these files and memories.
Souls and memories.
Including cellular memories, the DNA, and the subatomic levels.
Including cellular memories, DNA,
subatomic levels.
I'm now ready to heal all traumatic lifetimes.
I am now ready to heal all traumatic lifetimes.
Blocking my flow of abundance.
Blocking my flow of abundance.
In all levels and dimensions.
Levels and dimensions.
Time frames, realities, and universes.
Time frames, realities,
and universes.
Pause there. So just let that flow out. It takes a little while. Because you brought consciousness to the past life, now we're past lives, now we're clearing them. Okay. I command that any soul fragments.
I command that any soul fragments
held with these memories.
Held with these
memories.
Now return to me.
Now return
to me.
Fully whole and intact.
Fully whole and intact.
Appropriate.
As appropriate.
I welcome these soul fragments back.
I welcome these soul fragments
back.
Just pause there, let that come back. Parts of us get shattered and sensitive parts leave us. And then we have to claim them back to become whole again when we go through traumatic stuff. I command that the whole holographic matrix.
I command
that the whole holographic matrix
be repaired through all layers and levels.
Be repaired through all layers and levels.
Brought into full alignment.
And then brought into full alignment.
Integration and balance.
Integration and balance.
To allow for wholeness to emerge.
To allow for wholeness to emerge.
Let that
Thank you.
happen. I've still got someone with background and someone talking in the background. Thanks. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I want to yawn now after that one. Lauren said, I feel tired and really relaxed now. Okay. All right. How'd that feel? Who wants to share about that? How's that? Anyone want to share about that? Just doing to see how you're doing, but also give you a chance to integrate it.
I could feel all my cell and soul fragments coming back to me, like, and I feel more solid now.
Yeah, you literally feel more whole, more
Yes.
present.
Yes.
Okay. You need those sensitive parts to carry this mission out. And the ego may tell you you're never going to sort this out. That's just part of its defense mechanisms. The other thing it'll often say is that you're going to die. You get the death wish coming up, which means you're making good progress. But it says you get the feeling I'm going to die, because that's a slight ditch attempt to try and stop you clearing these issues. Okay. There's lots of clever programs the ego try and stop you. Okay. Okay. All right. So now we're going to do some integration. We're going to do some energetic nutrition, because you've cleared quite a few programs already in this session. So now you might feel a little bit discombobulated. So we need to actually infuse the right optimal frequency to integrate you. Because the idea is to remove the programs in a sustainable way that doesn't destabilize you, but helps you make progress in changing your life. Okay. So this is physical nutrition, but we're just going to call upon the frequency of it to come to you. Yeah. So we have a command code here for it, but first we have to pick out of 4 types of nutrition. We have amino acids, essential fatty acids, and we have minerals and vitamins here. Okay. So rather than pick a letter A, B, C, or D, we're just going to pick a number 1 to 4. So I want you all close your eyes. Okay. And do exactly as I say. All right. Don't even think about it. That's the ego trying to stop you. All right. So I'm going to just do this. So pick a number 1 to 4. And whatever number comes in your head is the correct number, because the higher self's going to download it into you. So Christy, close your eyes, otherwise the mental body's switching on, trying to control us. So Christy, pick a number 1 to 4 and just remember what it is. Okay. So you can open your eyes now. If you've got a 1 or a 2, 1 is equivalent to A, B is equivalent to 2, C is 3, D is 4, because numbers are easy to number map. So if you've got a number 1, those who've got number 1, close your eyes and pick a number 1 to 25, and it's going to pick an amino acid for you. You don't even have to look at them, and write down what that amino acid is. Those who've got 2, close your eyes, and we're going to pick an essential fatty acid. Pick a number 1 to 19 and write that number down. First one that comes in your head. Because we clear the interference initially, the numbers will be correct that come through. And note that down. You don't even have to pronounce this thing properly or know what it does. Your higher self is picking these frequencies. Okay, so basically you're learning to get out of the way, and the higher self is helping you become whole again, helping you get on with your mission. Those who got 3, which is minerals, close your eyes and pick a number 1 to 21, first number that comes in your head, and write it down. Those who got 4 vitamins, close your eyes and pick a number 1 to 26. Okay. So what we're doing is that we're selecting we're allowing the higher self to select what's going on. So basically with divine healing, you learn to get out of your own way, and your higher self, because you've asked to become clearer and manifest your mission and your abundance, it's going to find the optimal way for that to happen. Okay. All right. So everyone repeat after me. This is the command code, because you've already picked the energetic nutrition you need, and this will actually infuse it. It fuses from above you into your crown chakra, if it propagates through your body. So everyone put your mics on. Say after me. Higher self.
Higher self.
Higher
Is
self.
in the perfect balance that is required.
Is
Nutrient in the
Relation-
balance
that is
that is required.
So this is required.
Close your eyes and let it go through. I really want to yawn after that one. Yawn's good. Yawn is a release of the energy that was holding your programs in place. So you might feel tired for a while because that's the fatigue of your energy system holding the program in place. And once the fatigue's left, then you get more energized. Okay. So you feel a bit more integrated, a bit more whole after that. Yeah. All right. Okay, so that's plenty for today energetically. How do people feel? Just give me a bit of time to integrate that. Anyone want to share how they're feeling? I just want to see how you progress. Nicole, you look like you've been rolled around a lot energetically by that.
I was gonna say I feel like you said, the fatigue, but at the same time, it's not like a bad fatigue, if that makes sense. It's more like a peaceful, like, okay, go take a nap now, just kind of like the way you feel after you get a massage or spend time in a sauna.
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah. Okay, Cynthia, how you doing?
I'm good. Yawning, releasing.
Yeah.
And it feels really powerful to do this in a group.
It is. It's very powerful in a group.
Because this is only level 1. It's very simple, it's quite basic, but it's really powerful. It is really powerful, and it's even stronger because we're all doing it together. It was really good to hear everybody's voices. Thank you, everybody, for helping me in my healing.
We had 26 people doing it together. This is why it's strong. Okay. So, okay. Christy, how you doing?
I feel a little spacey, so I'm having a hard time verbalizing it. I am definitely released a lot, and my body feels really warm, like I'm sitting out in the sun. Yeah.
The energy release has happened from letting go of all those programs.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing feeling.
Yeah. Okay, Melissa, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm good. I feel like I had a big revelation after I was visualizing what I truly want. And so that will be interesting because it felt like it's like to be in a completely different geographic location. And so then where I am right now. And so that's just kind of new information for me to process and to or to just sit with, and then continue to peel away the layers in order to make that manifest a little bit more quickly. Yeah, so it's like I'm kind of in a new space of really like thinking about things in a whole new way.
Yeah. Yeah, we keep expanding as we do this sort of work. So, Amelia, how are you feeling?
So I don't know why for me it's quite the opposite. I feel like energized, like like I've had so much life inside of me. And I'm guessing it's because I feel clear. And so I feel the joy that we naturally have maybe more clearly.
Yeah.
But I feel very happy. And as far as my mission, I saw images, like visuals, words. I saw love for a son in a past life. I felt the love, and yeah, so it was just joyful and loving. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. William, how you doing?
Doing great, Nicolas. I really appreciate it. I think I'll echo Cynthia. Just something about the group dynamic is really powerful, and setting the intention before, because I've done this on myself, and it's nowhere near as direct into this feeling. Like the first few things we're clearing, I already felt like tears coming down. And not in a sad way or anything, but just that's kind of how I know, like, there's a lot of energy, and the spirits and guides are working with us. And I think it's a collective thing. We all wanted something, and so that kind of opened it up for me as well. And there was just a lot of peace. What I was struggling with before was kind of I'm not ready kind of feeling, like, oh, just need a little bit more work. But this is helping me shift. And it was just like, more now it's like, what are you waiting for? Like what's really holding you back was just all the stuff we were clearing. So thank you. Thanks so much.
Maximilian, how you doing? I love that hat.
Thank you. Yes, thank you for this hearing. It's amazing. After I actually learned divine healing level 3 now, I'm level 4, but I started to use level 1 less. But now I feel that you use only level 1 in such a powerful way, and I was so amazed that if we do in a group session like this, it's really powerful. So thank you so much.
Oh yeah, it's very powerful. Thank you. I feel the comments here. Lauren, I think this might have been previously. I feel tired and really relaxed now. Adrian feels heavy. Senabo had big release through my feet this time. Pam is very peaceful. Helen's very light mentally, felt double breathing when releasing, but have immense clarity and thought. And Adrian, oh yeah, it's just also another comment, calm and tired. Yeah, it's very powerful working in a group. Okay, very powerful. So when we teach this, we teach it over 4 days. You basically do this for 4 days. You have a 4-day healing intensive, and you learn how to do it on yourself and on others. Okay. And we teach you these 26 charts in the manual. Okay, so you just had a taste. Imagine doing this for 4 days straight. So you become pretty transformed. So I will find, I just got to find the contents page for you, show you what we have. Just go to scroll to the top of the manual. We'll do it. It's a divine healing master key to ascension. It's about empowering yourself because you can do it yourself. 80% of the programs. This is a 12-strand DNA spiral, which we're changing. It's Almira, Shakira, and Mary who developed it. Okay. So what they would do is that they would channel these charts here over a period of a month, and they meet once a month, and they bring all the material together and assemble this manual. Okay. And so these are the charts you would learn over 4 days. And basically, angels, what we've done is that we did clearing interference is here. We did the main low frequency programs. We cleared past lives, not just traumatic past lives. We added a variation, not past life deaths. And we infused nutrition. But basically, we spent 4 days going through the flow of these charts in divine order for the group consciousness as a whole. You get a massive healing process. And basically, it's taught by, I explain what the chart's about. If it's a complex one, I'll demonstrate on one of you. And then you go off into breakout rooms and Zoom, and then you practice. You give and receive the chart on each other. You come back, bit of feedback, we do the next one. And we do this for 4 days. And for the simpler charts, we just do it as a whole group. I explain it, then we just do the whole group. You get plenty of practice, and you come out a lot squeakier clean than when you entered, because it will clean a lot of stuff out. Okay, it's a very powerful process, and you get activated into the work. Okay, and so the first level, when these guys channeled it through, they thought this is all there is. But as soon as they started teaching it, another level started coming. So there are 5 levels of this now. So basically, it's a transmission of multiple levels of awakening and giving you more and more powerful tools, as level 2 builds on level 1. And level 3, as Max was saying, builds on the previous one. So basically, this is a way of peeling that ego onion so that you can create the abundance you desire and create the mission you desire. And people who stick with us tend to get there. Okay, you've got to have plenty of determination. There'll be plenty of distractions. But if you work on yourself, this is the fastest tool I've found to get where I want. And it was developed for this reason, to bring our Marinized mission online. Okay. So if you're interested in coming, we'll talk about the practicalities of that. If you get drawn to this, only come if you feel drawn. It's not for everybody. If you really want to let go of the old life, start the path of creating the new one, it's a delivery gift to service. The next training is the 24th to 27th of June on Zoom. It's at 12:30 to 8:30 UK time. We set at that time so that we can go out to the West Coast, 4:30 to 12:30 in California, but we go out to 1:30 to 9:30 p.m. in Europe. So we cover, it's a Western Hemisphere course from California all the way out to, we have people out to Poland doing this and beyond sometimes. Sometimes it goes down to India and Australasia and Asia. At 7:30 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. Eastern time. So you can do it from home without having to travel anywhere, which is what people used to do before we moved on to Zoom. And basically we do about 4 times 1.5 hour sessions in a day. And we have 20-minute breaks between sessions. There's one one hour meal break as well. Okay. So if you're interested in coming, you can find out more at thedivinehealingtraining.com. The full fee is £520, about $650 US. You can secure a place with a deposit of 175 UK pounds, about $220. So it's actually a lot more cost effective than just doing sessions here. When I used to do sessions, the cost of the course is only about 5.5 hours with me. So actually it's a better deal to do in the training. And then you can clear 80% of your issues yourself, and you can then use a more experienced practitioner to clear the other 20% core ego programs. So really it's here to bring you guys online with your missions. That's the whole purpose of divine healing. So you can move from the yearning for the mission to actually the manifestation of the mission, which is a lot more interesting. So you can turn the dreams into reality. It does take time, it does take work. It'll be painful at times, I'm not sugarcoating it, but it's a lot better than where you've been. And life progressively gets better the more you clear. That's why spiritual people look a lot younger than their age, because they've been clearing the separation. And those who don't do their work, as you might have noticed, look pretty unhappy and worn out by the time they hit their middle age years. So yeah, this is the key to use and fulfillment, using and fulfillment, and progressively having a more satisfying life. Any questions before we finish from anyone about anything we've talked about today? And thank you to all the practitioners who turned up to support the process. You know, some of you still got the challenges. Oh, you're back, Jody. Okay, you've done the other before. Okay. Any questions or anything? Or you can always email me later if you think of something. You've got my email address. It goes well with soul contract reading training, which some of you got, because the soul contract is the spiritual map of life of where our clients going, and this is the tool for clearing the blockages on that spiritual map. Jody, the recording will probably get posted in a couple of days when I've had time. Charlotte's had time to generate all the email, and I've got time to render the video. Okay, so you'll get the middle bit. And the recording will have the same power level of transmission of what you've received now. So if you want another healing, just watch the video, and it'll be just as strong. So do not watch it when you're driving or anything. You got to be in a sacred space to feel it. It's just as powerful. I found people were using it for healing the videos and getting great results. So it'll be contained completely in the transmission, embedded in the video. Anything else? No. Okay. No questions? Or you're all speechless? Or all right.
I don't have any questions. I just want to say thank you so much. And I love networking with everyone. Like everyone's mentioned, the group is very powerful. So yeah, I want to do this again. It's an excellent way to do it. And I just want to wish everybody the absolute most amazing success in doing whatever it is that your mission is supposed to be. So I can't wait to see how everything evolves.
Yeah, well, if you go to the divinehealingtraining.com, you'll see there's a couple more webinars in the next few months. Up until, yeah, there's a couple more running, so you can come on those if you want to have another go. They each have different themes. Okay. All right. So thank you everybody for full participation. It was fun, and I hope it helps you move forward in your missions and creating your abundance. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Right.
Thank
Bye.
you so much.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you.
Blessings on
you.
all.